Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II men's basketball coverage. Tonight's non-conference matchup features the College of Staten Island Dolphins taking on the Felician University Golden Falcons. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, and for the first time this season, I am joined by Sal Caruso on the call. Sal, welcome back to Sportsnet.
Thank you so much, Joe. It's a pleasure to be back, and I'm happy to be here broadcasting with you today, and I can't wait to do some more games.
Well, I know the viewers are very excited to see this. At least one person watching back at home, Nick Durst, will be tuning in to see the two of us call tonight's action. But Sal, the Dolphins come in with a record of 2-6. They opened the season 0-5, won 2 straight, but had a tough outing in their last matchup, a conference meeting with Malloy College.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough matchup for them. They're one of their first conference matchups. I mean, they shot 31% from the field, 27 from 3. You know, Messiah Mallory and Bryce Waterman, they have been their key guys all season long. They scored 10 points and 11, respectively. In the last 4 games, Joe, they have scored in double digits, and they're 2-2 in that stretch so far this season.
So the Dolphins getting contributions from 2 of their newcomers in Mallory and Waterman. Coach TJ Tibbs and I talked about it during the last broadcast. Messiah Mallory has proven to be one of the Dolphins' most versatile players.
I totally agree. I think he's one of the most players that really does a lot on the court, not just shoot the ball, but he sees the defense well. He rebounds the ball very well for his size. He boxes out, which is a lost art in today's game. And Waterman, you can just see he's got a stroke that when he gets hot, he's not missing.
We saw a couple of games back when Waterman set the building on fire. I believe that was against Damon College, where at one point he hit 4 consecutive three-pointers. He has shown that he can get hot very quickly. As you mentioned, he scored in double figures during the Dolphins' last game. And he is one player the Dolphins will be looking to help up their numbers on the season. You mentioned the poor shooting against Malloy. It has been poor shooting from the field all season long for CSI.
Yeah, it's been a rough start on the offensive end for sure. I do like their aggressiveness on the defensive end at times, but also they have lapses also, and that's what hurts them in the fast break, really. I mean, you can't let these teams just get out in transition and then continue to let that happen. It's going to be quick points on the board for the opposing team, and then they get down early.
So I mentioned the Dolphins' poor shooting overall on the season, just 36% from the field and 33% from three-point range. But CSI's opponent tonight, Felician University, comes in off of a big win. A team the Dolphins are very familiar with, took on the Golden Falcons in their last game. And for Felician University, they picked up the victory.
They did that, and Felician comes in 4-3, like you mentioned. They beat Pace just like we did when they gave them their first loss of the season. And, Pace they looked like a good team. They really did. But CSI came out ready to play, and in that game, I believe they shot well over 40%, and that was a key for them. And especially in that second half, they really just turned it up and did not let Pace get back into the game, especially late.
Dolphins did a good job closing the door against Pace University. It was a big day for Justin Davis of Felician University when they took on the Setters in their last game. He had 19 points on 7 of 14 from the field and 2 of 3 from downtown. He wasn't the only member of this Felician University team that had himself a good day.
No, they didn't. Javon Jackson also scored 16 points off the bench for them. The team shot 46% from the field, along with 41% from 3. Those are good numbers, especially from three-point range.
Those sure are impressive numbers for this Golden Falcons team, and they are a team that comes in shooting very well overall on the season as well. They did outperform their numbers from downtown against Pace. On the year, the Golden Falcons have shot 46% from the field and 32% from beyond the arc. So with just a few seconds to go before the introduction of starting lineups here from the College of Staten Island, Sal and I will step aside and take a break. When we come back, NCAA Division II men's non-conference basketball on deck right here on the ECC Network.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag, like facing backwards and with like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
For me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together, I feel like. I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
And welcome back inside the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island as CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II men's basketball coverage. In tonight's non-conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Felician University Golden Falcons. And as starting lineups are introduced out on the floor, I do have the starting lineups for both teams for you, beginning first with the visiting Golden Falcons. In numerical order, the starters for Felician University are number 2, Nas Amos, number 11, Jalen Colon, number 13, Justin Davis, number 14, D.N. McCray, number 24, Javon Jackson. And for the College of Staten Island, their starters are 0, Chris Velasquez, number 5, Austin Mick, number 12, Bryce Waterman, number 23, Messiah Mallory, and number 50, Josh Vargas. The usual starting 5 for the College of Staten Island as they look to get back into the win column. They have won 2 of their last 3 games, dropping their last matchup, a conference matchup against Malloy College this past weekend on Saturday. Sal and I spoke about it in the pregame. The Dolphins shot the ball poorly in that matchup with the Lions. They will look to come out a bit stronger in today's game against the Golden Falcons after they got off to a slow start against Malloy on Saturday.
Yeah, you definitely. One of those keys of any game in basketball is a quick start. You want to get that lead early, even if it's a 2-0 lead, and you build that to 4-0. Maybe they score a basket, but it's one where you can live with because they play tough defense on it. You know, you want to get that early 5, 6, 7-point lead, build it up, and force the other team to make that timeout call.
We will see if the Dolphins can get off to a better start tonight. Getting off to strong starts has been an issue for CSI in many games this season, but that was not the case against Pace University, a game the Dolphins picked up a big victory in, and they will be looking for another big win tonight against the Golden Falcons as Felician University wins the tip, and quickly they drive inside, a kick out into the corner for Jackson. He swings it into the other corner for Amos, who now drives against a pair of Dolphins, can't finish the scoop layup, and it is knocked out of bounds by Felician. It will be Dolphins basketball.
That time, just great defense inside. You got 3 Dolphins in there covering the paint. There was really nowhere for Jackson to go.
First possession of the game for the Dolphins. It is Austin Mick bringing the ball up for CSI. He will be running the point from the start in this game as he finds Waterman on the right wing. Waterman gets a screen from Vargas but swings it up top to Velasquez. Velasquez dishes to Mick. Now Mallory back to the basket. He thought about putting up a shot there. 5 to shoot for the Dolphins as Mallory with the head fake creates some room, pulls up from mid-range, and there's that versatility from Messiah Mallory, Sal.
That's what he does. He just scores in the most basic ways. He's a smart basketball player. Great pick there. Great pop by Messiah.
Dolphins on the board first. They lead 2-0 just over a minute into the first half. That three-pointer attempted by Justin Davis off back iron and rebounded by Mick.
Justin Davis is only shooting 33% from three this year, so we'll see if he can get on track in this game.
We spoke about it during the pregame. This Golden Falcons team, not a team that shoots it particularly well from three-point range, as we have our first turnover of the game as a travel by Chris Velasquez.
And Velasquez is one of the leading Dolphins on a team that on turnovers. I mean, it's mostly on passing. You don't see that in traveling a whole lot. But when he passes the ball, sometimes he just makes some bad decisions. He's got to slow down the game for himself.
Dolphins still leading 2-0 as the Golden Falcons will try another three. That was Javon Jackson, and falling out of bounds with it.
Yeah, the Dolphins got lucky
Davis
there. I mean, Josh Vargas was right there. Did not box out. Could have easily grabbed that rebound. He's got to learn to box out a little more. He's tall enough to do that, to grab almost every rebound.
We spoke about Javon Jackson during the pregame. Had 16 off the bench against Pace and the Golden Falcons' last outing. This is Waterman on the right wing. Gets a screen from Vargas. Open three for Waterman is good.
And like you said, that sweet stroke by Bryce. Had an open look, took his time, set his feet, drained it with no issues.
Dolphins lead 5-0, and we were just talking about it, Sal. CSI looking for a good start. Right now it looks like they have one.
Yeah, and this is going to be key on the defensive end here. Keep that intensity up.
Velasquez defending against Amos, and that's a tough shot by Nas Amos.
And we just said it. We'll take those tough shots. That's good defense. That was a tough shot. We'll take that one. It's still 5-2. Dolphins still lead.
Mick will use the Mallory screen. He drives into the paint. Plenty of room for Mick, and he finishes the finger roll.
And that's what I like to see more from Mick. We know he could shoot the ball. Drive. Take the defense off of their game.
Another three-point attempt by Jackson, and he is fouled by Mallory. Beyond the arc, he will head to the line for three.
Yeah, usually you never want to close out on a shooter too hard. You definitely want to make them miss the shot, get up there, try to block it. But you don't want to get into that shooting zone where the foul can easily be called.
Well, the Golden Falcons had already missed their first three-pointers, and they were staring in the face of an 0-for-4 start from downtown with that last attempt. Instead, Jackson to the line, connects on the first.
Overall, Felician shooting 31% from three. And they do score. They do average 80 points per game, nearly 81. So they can definitely score the basketball. But shooting-wise, from three-point, there's not their strong suit. Doesn't seem like it to be.
Well, the numbers do indicate that. And right now, it's officially an 0-for-3 start from three-point range for Felician. But they can pull to within two right here. If Jackson can make it 3 of 3 from the line, he does.
You got to credit the Dolphins' defense so far in the start of this game. The first 3 minutes, it's been solid. Granted, it's only a 2-point game. It's a solid start.
Just shy of 3 minutes into the first half. Dolphins lead is 2. Velasquez thought about a 3 right there. Uses the Vargas screen. Vargas on the roll, decides to put up the jump shot, and that is short.
And that's a shot he's got to get used to make because he's going to be open that time a lot. He can shoot over the top of a lot of different players in this conference.
Vargas has the most length on this Dolphins team. As that three-pointer in and out by Jackson. The Golden Falcons now 0 of 4 from downtown.
He is not shy. That is his 30th attempt so far this season. And he's only hit 9.
Mallory out to Waterman. Inside of 20 to shoot. Mallory will now try the post-up. And the hook shot is no good.
That was still a great look by Mallory. Got in close. Just going off the back of the rim.
A good look for Mallory as we have a travel called against the Golden Falcons. Justin Davis is the guilty party.
And I think we have the first player ever to agree on a travel call there. He raised his hand. He knew it.
You don't see that too often, but
nope,
I'm sure the officials appreciate that, not getting an argument every time a travel is called, as is typically the case.
I mean, I know when I'm playing. I never agree.
I think I'm with you there, Sal. No one ever thinks they traveled, so that's a rare occurrence that we just witnessed. As Velasquez is stripped of the basketball by Amos. Here come the Golden Falcons. On the drive, and finishing underneath is Dean McCray.
Yeah, that was a strong move by Dean McCray. As you can see, he's a big boy. He uses his body well there. I mean, when you have that height, that body build, you want to use that body down low. If they continue to do that, Dolphins are going to struggle.
McCray, a 6'5", 265-pound junior. And he gets on the board with that last finish. Score now tied at 7. This is Mick. Mick takes it inside, had some space, but he puts up an air ball.
Yeah, and say he tried to pull up for a mini jumper when he should have kind of tried to float it up.
And there's a nice shot over the outstretched arm of a defender by Jalen Cologne.
Yeah, Cologne shooting 36% on the season, so not great numbers, only 28 from 3, but he was able to knock down that baby jumper.
Dolphins now trail for the first time in this game. 9-7 the score, 5 minutes into the first half. Mick going back and forth over the Mallory screens, and he can't finish off glass.
I like the move. I like the strong move by Mick, just couldn't finish.
And Amos is unable to save that one as we will head to break for a media timeout. Our score heading into our first commercial, 9-7 in favor of Felician University. More NCAA Division II men's basketball when we come back. And we're back here on the ECC Network. We apologize for that technical error as our commercials did not cooperate. There may or may not have been audio over a black screen. So once again, we apologize for that. But the most important part of the broadcast is the action. And the action resumes here with inside of 15 minutes to play in the first half. Dolphins trailing by 2, 18 to shoot for CSI. This is Mallory on the low block. And he will try the bank shot. That is no good, and rebounded by McCray.
Another good move by Mallory there. Just couldn't get the bucket to go.
Sean McCarthy defended that last shot. He just checked in wearing number 1, as that's another nice finish by Nas Amos.
That was a really strong finish by Amos there. I mean, he had a few Dolphins in front of him. Somehow that bounced right on in.
An acrobatic move by Amos to put his team ahead by 4 as the entry pass is taken away from Mallory. Here comes Amos back the other way. Kick out into the corner. Jackson will drive baseline, and another kick out, this time left wing 3 by Cologne is short and rebounded by Mallory.
Now, Felician right now is just moving the ball a lot, and the Dolphins are getting a little bit confused as to where it is going. They just got to get back to their defensive sets.
Dolphins are very fortunate that the Golden Falcons are 0-5 from 3 because some of those looks have been good open looks. This is Waterman, quick trigger on the 3, and Waterman buries it again, this time from the left wing.
With a hand in his face this time. Absolutely no rim on that one, just straight on with the 3. A little 2 or 3 feet behind the line, too.
Waterman showing off the range as Amos will try a 3. That rolls off the rim, and it is rebounded by Vargas. Bryce Waterman now 2 of 2 from long range. This is Mick on the drive, and he finishes.
Yeah, you like to see that. He saw an opening. He went right towards him. And, he can definitely go on against with the matchup with Amos there. He's got some strength over him.
A 2 of 4 start for Mick. He has 4 points. Waterman with 6. This is McCray posting up Vargas. Amos, a wide-open 3 from the left corner, too long, and rebounded by Velasquez.
Yeah, we mentioned their three-point shooting struggles throughout the season, but a lot of them have been open looks, and they might drop eventually.
Waterman, another good open look, and that one is way off. They push the ball up ahead to Jackson, and he cannot finish, as I think Mallory affected that shot from behind.
Yeah, he felt Mallory right behind him. He thought he was going to go up pretty easily, but Mallory was there to defend him well.
Ball back up top with Mick on the right wing. 17 to shoot for the Dolphins as Mick looks to be calling for a screen. Doesn't get it. This is Velasquez, 10 to shoot. He gets a screen from Vargas. Thought about a 3 instead. Feeds it to Mallory. Mallory, jab step, mid-range shot. He doesn't get the roll.
So I like that shot by Mallory. He was right there. He had the position. He had the height.
That's McCarthy on the kick out. Good swing pass inside from Jackson to McCray for the easy 2.
And that's when Vargas has got to be tougher in the paint. He's got to get in front of him, whether it's a foul or not. Get in front of him. Don't let him get that easy basket.
After a strong start defensively, there have been some lapses for the Dolphins over the last couple of minutes. This is Waterman in the corner, up to Mallory. Now Mick. Good look from 3, and Austin knocks it down.
Great job moving the ball around the horn there from one corner over to the top of the three-point line and the key.
Austin Mick now has 7 to lead CSI. On the pull-up, that is Cologne, and he finishes the shot through the contact and one.
A tough shot by Cologne there. It looked like Cologne could have been called for a little offensive foul there, a little push there, but this time Mick got called for the foul.
Certainly a possibility, but as it stands, Cologne nets the jumper. He will have one more up coming from the line on the other side of this break. Another media timeout sends us to commercial. Dolphins and Golden Falcons tied at 15.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we're back from the tank. Dolphins and Golden Falcons tied at 15. Sal, what are some of your early impressions from the first 9 minutes of play?
Well, I like their defensive intensity so far. A couple of lapses in the last few possessions there. But really, one foul for this entire game thus far. I hope I don't jinx it. But, the defensive pressure by both teams have been great. And they're getting some open looks, some misses by Felician. As you said, the Dolphins have gotten lucky. And the Dolphins are just hitting the shots that are there for them. And that's important.
Well, with one foul up on the scoreboard right now, I know former men's basketball head coach and current interim director of athletics, TJ Tibbs, like that. Him and I discussed on the last broadcast how the whistles were getting a bit excessive at times during the Dolphins matchup with Malloy, and the officials letting them play so far. And I know as a broadcaster, I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, it's always a much funner game when you see and let the players just play the game. If there's a foul, you call that foul. But I don't like those ticky-tack fouls. In that game with the women's last night, there was almost 15-plus fouls in that third quarter alone, Joe.
We had almost 15 fouls on one team in the fourth.
Yeah.
Dolphins will inbound from in front of the scorer's table. Max Dillon Butler into the game for the first time for CSI, and Omar Ramos into the game for the Golden Falcons. As Butler throws an errant pass, stolen by Ramos. Here comes McCarthy on the drive, and he finishes around Mallory.
And I was about to say, I really like Max Dillon Butler as a player. I think he brings a lot of little versatility like Mallory does in the point guard position when he comes in. He's a great defender as well. That time, bad pass, though, as just Dolphins weren't ready for it.
Butler has shown the ability to score from both the paint and the outside as he mishandles that pass from Mick. 12 to shoot for CSI. Mallory will try another mid-range shot, and he hits that one.
And that's his bread and butter right there from the mid-range, and he's got some posting and toasting as well.
On the drive, once again, that is McCarthy. He absorbs the contact, couldn't finish, but will head to the line for two.
Yeah, Sean McCarthy is a freshman. He's played 146 minutes thus far this season. He's shooting 40% overall and only 28% from three, but he's only taken 7 overall.
A lot of players on this Golden Falcons team that haven't had many attempts from beyond the arc. And I think we've seen early on that the three-point shot isn't really Felician's game. 0 of 7 from downtown right now.
Yeah, we mentioned only 31% on the season. We got McCarthy right now at the line. He's only shooting nearly 70% from the line, but he's only taken 16 so far, so he doesn't get there that much.
McCarthy goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Felician by 2. Butler will assume the point guard duties from Austin Mick, so Austin with an opportunity to play off the ball a bit more here. This is Butler working against Amos. Finds Mick. That is Michael Ashley, who just checked in for the first time. And once again, Austin Mick on the drive, and he has been a force under the basket.
He is really reading the defense and just giving them what they're giving him. I mean, he's taking those little slits and slaps, and he's making it work for them.
That's Amos quickly dumping it off to Davis. Davis, tough shot, and he finishes the floater over Waterman.
Yeah, Justin Davis probably shooting the highest percentage for Felician at 51% on the season. Most of them inside the arc.
That is Butler on the drive. No good. Rebounded by Michael Ashley, who lays it up and in.
And that's on good positioning by Ashley to get that board and just kind of put it right back in.
Michael Ashley has given the Dolphins some very good minutes off the bench so far this year in more than one game.
And very limited minutes too, Joe.
Got into foul trouble against Malloy, as that three-pointer is good from Omar Ramos.
And Omar Ramos only his fourth three-pointer on the season. He's 4 for 13 now. So that's an area where the Dolphins are going to have to really defend if they're going to want to win this game.
This is Messiah Mallory from three, and that rolls off the rim, no good. As Butler read that pass all the way, he gets the steal, fumbled it for a second, but is able to finish over Davis.
And that's what I mean about Max Dillon Butler. He sees the game very well coming off the bench.
Great anticipation in the passing lane right there by Butler. That pulls CSI back to within one. That shot no good by Justin Davis. Here comes CSI with a chance to take the lead. This is Mallory driving baseline, lost it. Finds Ashley. Ashley powers his way inside and drew a foul, but it looked like he was passing, so no free throws.
Really? It looked like he was about to go up with that. Yeah, he's getting 2 shots. There you go. He got him well across the arm, Joe.
Looked like he was turning to pass it after the whistle, but
just looked like a bad shot attempt.
That's a tough shot attempt facing away from the rim as Ashley misses the first free throw.
Michael Ashley on the season thus far. He's played all 8 games off the bench, averaging 17 minutes per game. He's hit 1 three-pointer this year, so he's 100% from 3 at 1 for 1. But from the free throw line, Michael Ashley is shooting 91%. He's 11 for 12.
With that 1 of 2 trip, he's now 12 of 14.
Yep.
Score tied at 24. This is Cologne. Over to Davis. Now Ramos. Back to Cologne, working against Butler. Fake, and a kick out to Jackson, who will try another 3, and the Golden Falcons finally have their first three-pointer, or make it their second now, in 10 attempts.
Now, the 2 of 10 is not great percentage, but it gives the Falcons a 3-point lead now with almost 8 minutes remaining here in the first half.
That three-pointer, the first for Jackson, as Ramos quickly made his mark off the bench with a three-pointer. This is Butler looking for somewhere to go with it. Finds Mick. 12 on the shot clock. Mick drives. This is David Shkolny, who just checked in. Shkolny out to Waterman. 5 on the shot clock. Shkolny is whistled for an offensive foul on the push-off.
I don't know, Joe. I didn't see much there by Shostak, but the official saw it, and he got called for the offensive foul.
Well, admittedly, we do have a tough angle, but I'm with you, Sal. Didn't see too much on that last offensive foul. Either way, that will send us to break with the Dolphins trailing by 3. Our score with 7:40 on the clock in the first half. The Golden Falcons 27, the College of Staten Island 24.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available.
And we're back from the tank, as you'll have to wait to hear more about Hobra, a taco joint, until the next commercial break. And on that floater, it is Omar Ramos finishing, and Falcons have their largest lead. Justin Ziris checked in following that last timeout for CSI as Michael Ashley finishes the layup. He has 5.
Yeah, nice look by Bryce Waterman there, seeing Michael Ashley cut into the lane, got himself in position, was able to grab it and put it in.
Dolphins back within 3. This is Davis. Now Ramos. Ramos pull-up jump shot, and he hits.
Ramos with that jump shot. That's a pretty ugly looking jump shot, but that went in.
Not a very orthodox shooting motion for Ramos, but he has 7 to lead Felician.
They just missed Bryce in the corner.
Waterman inside to Ashley, who is short on the jump hook.
It's a good attempt by Ashley there. He was in position.
This is Cologne. Kick out. Ramos in the corner. Now Jackson. Three-pointer, top of the arc. Off the rim, no good.
Jackson really jacking them up in this game.
That's his 5th three-point attempt. He's 1 of 5, 1 of 6 overall from the field. Ashley screens for Ziris. Now Shkolny, Waterman, and Butler in the left corner. 10 on the shot clock. This is Ashley posting up inside. Another kick out. Shkolny will try the 3. That's no good.
Scully should get it going eventually. Still got to get his feet wet as he just came into these last few games.
Ibuka Nagbo into the game for the Golden Falcons, and right on cue, Nagbo finishes the layup.
Yep, and that was only his 12th and 13th point of the season, so he doesn't play many minutes, but he got 2 there.
Golden Falcons now leading by 7.
And this lead has developed methodically for Felician here. Very slow getting into the lead for Felician here, but they do have that lead.
Those deficits that are built a bit more methodically and slowly, often a bit easier to maintain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We'll see if that holds true.
Give CSI a chance to just kind of come back and go on a little 6-0 run, get right back in this game.
Ziris will try a 3. That's no good off back iron and rebounded by Davis. Felician looking to run. Jackson up top to Cologne. They swing it to Davis. He drives. And he finishes over Michael Ashley. A tough shot inside by Justin Davis.
Despite the shot there, good defense and rotations by the Dolphins. He just found the lane and was able to get in there.
And we have a foul committed by Javon Jackson against Shkolny. Going back to that last possession quickly, the Dolphins have forced a lot of tough shots by this Golden Falcons team, but Felician, when it's come to shots around the basket, they've been up to the task of finishing inside. Yeah,
it's their three-point shooting and the outside shooting that they have not found the range yet from, but inside they're getting everything they wanted. The Dolphins missed a few chippies already.
This is Velasquez with inside of 10 to shoot. Now Ashley, and foul is called against Nagbo. And that's a bad foul as the Dolphins were running out of time to shoot.
I'm glad they called that foul, Joe, because I thought Ashley walked there.
My thoughts exactly, Sal. I thought the whistle was for traveling.
That's exactly what I thought. So really fortunate for the Dolphins to get another possession here.
I think the foul may have forced the travel. Mm-hmm. Dolphins get a fresh 20 seconds to shoot. They're looking for Mallory inside, but a good job by Jackson to deny him the ball. They find Ashley on the opposite block. He tries another hook shot. That one not close.
That one not a good shot by Ashley there. He had 2 or 3 Felician defenders on him. That time Cologne with the three-point attempt off the mark.
This is Mallory on the right wing. Now Ziris directing traffic. As it looks like they're going to try and isolate Mallory on the block. He was double-teamed. Has the much smaller Amos on him as we have a whistle and a foul called against the Golden Falcons.
And you want to see that by Mallory and the big men of CSI. Get in there, tough it out. This team does not seem as tall as some of the other teams they have faced thus far, so use that to your advantage.
Shkolny got a wide open look from 3, couldn't hit. Good bounce pass, setting up Ashley, but he couldn't convert on the layup. Possession will stay with the Dolphins.
Ashley's upset because he knows he had to go up there stronger. Ashley can dunk the ball. He would have got up there, he should have dunked it.
So the Dolphins will have it when we come back inside of 4 minutes to play in the first half. Felician by 9 points.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
And we are back here on the ECC network, and it has come to my attention that some of our most loyal viewers have tuned into the broadcast. A special shout out to the Pizzuto family watching this evening. Sal, I know you have even more to add to that.
Yes, and a special shout out to Jen Pizzuto as well as David Pizzuto. Glad you guys are listening. I hope we're doing a great job for you, and enjoy the game, guys.
Well, Sal, you just blew the purpose. Jen wanted her own shout out. Well, thank you, of course, to Dave and Jen and the entire Pizzuto family for tuning in as, of course, Dave, a big force behind the Sportsnet operation over the years. I would not be here without him, and I know they tune in quite often from home when they cannot be here on campus with us. So once again, thank you to all of them for watching and to all of our viewers at home who have tuned in for tonight's NCAA Division II men's basketball non-conference matchup, Dolphins and Golden Falcons, as Velasquez will try a three off of the inbound, nearly got the friendly roll, but it rims out.
That was a good attempt by Chris Velasquez there, and he's actually shooting the ball pretty well overall. He doesn't take many shots.
Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half as Jackson tries another three, and that one rolls off the rim, no good.
What are they now, about 3 for 12 from the field?
2 of 13 from downtown for Felician University in this game, and for Jackson, he is 1 of 6 from long range. That's Velasquez on the turnaround, nearly banked it in, and it's rebounded by McCray.
That time, not a good shot by Velasquez. Falling away, just not set whatsoever. And the Dolphins are down by 9 points right now.
A bit early in the shot clock for an attempt like that, though. Velasquez has proven he can hit some of those mid-range shots off the dribble. Not an easy look by any stretch. This is Cologne on the drive, and he took a shot from Shkolny, wanted a whistle, didn't get it. But we have a whistle underneath, and it goes against Felician, as I think McCray was whistled for a push-off on the rebound.
Yeah, I was about to say there might be an offensive foul there as I saw a push-off because the Dolphins and Michael Ashley were in position for that, and then you could just see his body flop over to the other side. You could tell there was a foul.
3 big minutes coming up for the Dolphins right here, as the final 3 minutes in this first half could be the difference between a double-digit halftime deficit and creeping right back to within maybe less than 5 points.
That's your goal here, Joe. You want to get this under 5 points by the half. This way it's only a 2-possession game.
That certainly won't help, as Mallory appeared to just fling the ball out of bounds. There was contact. Perhaps Messiah expecting a whistle. Didn't protest much, and it will be Felician basketball.
I'm curious to know what the statistician gave that one there. I'd give that a turnover, but he might have got that missed shot.
I'll tell you right now, Sal. They got it right. Turnover.
All right, good. Good to know.
Looked like the intention was to shoot, but then Mallory decided to try and abort. As that floater is an air ball rebounded by McCray. And he goes back up, and the putback dunk rattles out from Davis. And another offensive board leads to a putback by Davis.
And those, Joe, are the plays that really hurt you. You had a chance to grab the rebound, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And they just couldn't do it.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the statistician's missing that dunk attempt, Sal, as the fast break for Felician results in a Dolphins foul, and those hustle points scored by the Golden Falcons that last time down, the 2 points that put them ahead by double figures, they can now add to that lead with possession here, as heading to the line will be Javon Jackson, so a chance to go up by as many as 13 from the stripe.
Yeah, off the media timeout, they seem to come out a lot faster. They're playing a lot faster game, and they're going back to driving instead of just shooting the ball.
First free throw by Jackson is no good. It's been a rough first half for him.
Javon Jackson, it's only a 50% free throw shooter, 11 for 22 so far in the season.
That's a big sample size, so.
If anybody you want to send to the line, it's him this game.
He went against that earlier when he went 3 of 3 after getting fouled on an attempt from beyond the arc. He's now 4 of 5 from the line with 7 points. Only one made field goal on 7 attempts.
Yeah, not great shooting by either teams, but the Falcons are up by 12 with some hustle plays, just like that one.
There's another hustle play, as you said, Sal, by the Golden Falcons, buying them another possession, earning them a stop, forcing another Dolphins turnover. And now they have a chance to go up by as many as 15. And if the Dolphins aren't careful, this game could really begin to get away before the end of the first half.
Yeah, instead of it being down 5-6, it might be down 16.
Jackson knocks down his second three-pointer. And despite not shooting well, Jackson's shot quality has been good. He's been taking good open shots, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, I mean, eventually if you give a basketball player enough open looks, they're going to hit a few.
Dolphins now trailing by 15 points, and they need a basket badly here as this game is slowly slipping away. And Mick with a travel that is whistled. The Golden Falcons wanted that whistle sooner. They eventually got it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few travels on that play, Joe, to be honest. But this is the problem. The Dolphins seem on the offensive sets, they seem to get confused at times, and they just don't know what they're doing. And then that's when they become disgruntled on the offensive end.
As Clyde would say, discombobulated.
Yes, he would. My man, Clyde.
Knicks are about to tip off, but stay with us as I don't anticipate the Knicks game being too close tonight.
Come on, Joe. Give him some credit, hopefully.
I was there on Sunday, and there is no credit to be given after that performance.
Yeah.
This is Davis driving down the wing, and he travels. May have been McCarthy who traveled. Either way,
yeah, it looked
Falcons
like
turned it over.
It was McCarthy who traveled the ball there. So he looks like he went for a hop step, but took one too many hop steps.
As LeBron would call it, a crab dribble with one too many dribbles, perhaps.
Except
or
he doesn't get
one
called
too
for
few
fouls.
dribbles, yeah.
Well, if you're the Dolphins here, you want to get maybe 2 for 1. Quick shot, try to drain it. It doesn't look like they're going to do that.
2 for 1 was going to be very tough right there, but the Dolphins, if they choose to let most of the shot clock expire, they could possibly prevent another Felician possession. This is Ziris, and I'm not sure how Ziris thought he would get away with that push-off.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly way extended that arm, and if you're a defender, you just got to back up a little bit and show what he just did, and he did just that.
You won't see that call missed too often, and
it's an easy call to make when an offensive player extends their arm on a drive.
Some players able to make a career off of that. I can think of one Nick in particular who was very adept at that maneuver and not getting called for the foul.
You got to be very sneaky with it and try to not be the referee's point of view.
Driving baseline when you do it helps as well. 5 seconds left in the half. That is Amos knocking down the three, and the Golden Falcons will take an 18-point lead into the halftime locker room. Our score heading into the intermission, Felician University 44, the College of Staten Island 26.
Yeah, Joe, it's been a tough game the last 5 minutes or so for the Dolphins. They just could not get anything going in the offensive end, and on the defensive end, they just couldn't stop this Felician offense, both on the outside when they started draining threes, and in the inside, they just kept getting to the line as well.
Well, the Dolphins with a bit of a scoring drought at the end of that half. I'm trying to find when their last made basket was, and it appears it was quite a while ago, as I'm still scrolling and I can't find it. So we may have to give that information to you coming out in the third quarter. This is remarkable, and I think the last CSI basket came at the 7:14 mark. So the Dolphins go over 7 minutes without a made field goal. At that point, with 7:14 remaining in the half, they were trailing 29-26. And since then, a 15-0 Golden Falcons run brings the first half to a close. So when Sal and I come back, the Dolphins will trail by 18 points at the start of the second half. More NCAA Division II men's basketball following the halftime break here on the ECC Network.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels.
I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels.
I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And welcome back inside the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Sal Caruso. And Sal, the Dolphins really struggling at the end of that first half. They trail big at the break. What went wrong for CSI in the first half?
Well, they played well up until that 7-minute mark, Joe, where they could not score the basket. They scored their 26th point. I think it was Michael Ashley who scored those 2 points inside. And since then, they just could not get a basket to fall.
Well, in the first half of the College of Staten Island, they shot the ball well, 40% from the field, but turnovers really hurt them. They gave the ball away 10 times in that first half. Standouts for CSI, Austin Mick and Bryce Waterman. Both of them shot the ball well in half number one.
Yeah, and probably leading those turnovers was Chris Velasquez, who had a few towards that stretch at the end. And Bryce Waterman is 2 for 3 from 3 with 6 points right now. He's got to put up a little bit more shots in the second half.
Mick with a big half as well. As I mentioned, 9 points. He was 4 of 6 from the field. For Felician University, they shot the ball extremely well from the field in the first half. Not as well from downtown, but they did not need those outside shots to pull away in that first half.
Yeah, and I think they realized that a little late in the first half there because they started driving, and it really helped them because they got to the line and they were making those shots inside. They realized that inside-outside game is working for them.
It certainly was, and as I mentioned before, they closed the half on a big run, 15-0 to end the first half for Felician University. They really ran away with it at the end of half number one. A big half for Javon Jackson scoring it. He had 10 points, not efficiently, but it did not matter. He was only 2 of 8 from the field. Omar Ramos also with a strong performance off the bench.
Yeah, almost Ramos. He was 7 points, 3 for 3 from the field. Really tough guard to defend.
So for the Dolphins, a lot to correct following that first half. When Sal and I come back from this quick break, the final 20 minutes of this NCAA Division II men's non-conference basketball matchup right here on the ECC Network.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins trailing by 18 at the start of the second half, and they waste no time putting up a three-pointer as Waterman sees that shot rattle out.
We just mentioned that, Joe, too, that he's got to try to put up a few more shots. He had good looks in the first half. That's why he only took 3. But he got another one there. That one rimmed out.
Well, at times, shot selection has been an issue for Waterman, but the Dolphins really need him to get going in this game. You said it, Sal. It may benefit CSI if Waterman has an even quicker trigger in half number 2, as Chris Velasquez able to draw the charge in the lane. Might be a bit shaken up, but he will stay in the game, and the Dolphins will have it right back.
Yeah, he definitely took the brunt of that charge. But in great position was Velasquez. That's what you want to give the CSI as many possessions as possible if they're going to come back in this game.
Velasquez guarded by Amos. Now Mick over to Waterman. Waterman out to Velasquez. Mallory on the block, back to the basket, working against Jackson. Takes it into the middle of the lane, and that rattles out as Mallory just hasn't been able to get the rolls in this game.
Yeah, he started the game well, but since then, there's a lot of shots rimming in and out.
There's another wide open 3 for Jackson, and he's had a tough time from the outside in this game.
Jackson is not shy from 3.
This is Mick attacking the rim again, finds Mallory, and it's knocked away by Amos and stolen by Felician.
Yeah, not a great entry pass by Mick as it was well behind Messiah Mallory.
This is McCray against Vargas. Inside of 20 to shoot. Nice bounce pass to the cutting Cologne, who lays it in uncontested.
Yeah, great attempt by Cologne. Easy layup there. You got to make those.
Good feed from the big man, D-end McCray, picking up the assist as Velasquez feeds it inside to Mallory, who will try again from the post. Kicks out to Mick. Now Velasquez. He drives baseline and finds Vargas, 10 to shoot. Vargas with the spin, and traveling is the call.
You see, Joe, Vargas had an easy open jump shot. Right there, mid-range. There was really not a defender that close to him. He's got the height. You got to take that jump shot.
Big men who stretch the floor becoming more and more prevalent in the game today, and the Dolphins, the way this game has gone, need Vargas to try and spread out that defense of the Golden Falcons a little bit as McCray finishes the hook shot over the 6'8 Vargas, and That puts the Golden Falcons up 22.
Biggest lead of the game for Felician here. CSI really in a hole. Nearly 10 minutes, Joe, without a field goal since dating back in the first half.
Scoring drought, unlike anything we've seen from this men's basketball team this year. Mallory finds Velasquez a chance to end the drought right there, and Velasquez connects from the corner.
And Velasquez, he's got a jump shot. He takes good shots. His shot selection, like Bryce early season, wasn't very good. But when he gets that open shot, he usually makes it.
Well, as TJ Tibbs said during our last broadcast, elbows and blocks for Velasquez, where he does most of his damage, as a good lead pass there by Mallory gives Velasquez a wide open layup.
Just like that, Velasquez scores the last 5 points for the Dolphins. They needed that in the worst way.
And once again, a wide open three, this time an air ball by Davis.
You don't see that very often when you're wide open.
That's Vargas from Waterman, a dangerous pass. Mallory with the head fake, kicks out to Velasquez, and Dolphins will reset. Velasquez uses the Mallory screen and is stripped on his way to the rim. It will be Dolphins ball with 12 to shoot.
You like the aggressiveness by Velasquez here. The Dolphins need to get into the paint and maybe draw some fouls. Here's Waterman for three off the inbound. No good.
Now Waterman got a good look there as the Dolphins try to get him going. There's an alley-oop pass, and Davis throws it down with two hands. Javon Jackson to Justin Davis on the alley-oop connection.
That was a pretty pass and a pretty finish by Felician.
Velasquez, another wide-open three, and he hits again.
Velasquez now 2 threes in the second half. He's got 8 points in this quarter, giving the Dolphins some life. They're down by 16 now.
Velasquez with a little three to the dome celebration as Mick got a hand on the pass, comes away with the steal. Dolphins on the break. Waterman lost the handle and forced up that finger roll as Velasquez puts an end to the Golden Falcons break with that tipped pass. And a much-needed timeout for both sides as the media timeout will send us into another break. Just over 4 minutes into the second half, the Dolphins trailing by 16, but have chipped away at a lead that exceeded 20 points. The conclusion of the second half, final 15:45 on the other side of this break.
Stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us.
To intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
And we are back here on CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins trailing by 16 points inside of 16 minutes to play in the second half.
And Joe is all fueled by Christopher Velasquez right now, scoring 8 points here in this second half.
Velasquez has jump-started the CSI offense. Now the Dolphins need stops. This is Jackson. Out to Amos. He will try the left corner three, and the rebound goes to Mick.
Nice box out by Mick to grab that board.
Well, you can see the Dolphins with a bit more energy right now.
Yeah, Joe, momentum is a big thing in the game of basketball, and right now the Dolphins have it. They don't want to lose it.
As Mick goes down, and
foul was on Namus there, number 2 for Felician.
Well, I was waiting to see if they were signaling 2 shots or a foul on number 2. So it was a foul on number 2, Nas Amos.
Velasquez to inbound the ball.
This is Mallory handing off to Mick. He uses the Mallory screen, kicks it right back out to Messiah, who will try a three, and that is short.
That was a tough one there. Jackson was right in his face.
Davis trying to get it into the corner for Jackson, and that pass went awry, so a quick turnover by the Golden Falcons, and it will be Dolphins ball again.
Golden sins in basketball, jumping in the air to pass. You don't want to do that, although sometimes you get a really good pass out of it.
You may make the highlight reel with one of those passes when leaving your feet, but as Clyde Frazier would say, the cardinal sin of passing, leaving your feet, and right there, Davis paid for it.
Yeah, too low for Jackson to catch, and even if he did catch it, he would not have had a good shot attempt.
Bounce pass inside to Mallory. This is Vargas, wide open free throw line, jumper rattles out.
That's okay. You want to see that from the big man. An easy jump shot there for Vargas. Good attempt, just didn't go in.
That's Amos taking it inside. Still waiting for the call, and it looks like we are going to stay right here. Jackson will inbound from the baseline with 22 on the shot clock. This is McCarthy, almost lost the handle. Inside to Nagbo, and he finishes over Vargas.
Strong move by Nagbo there, just kind of used his arms and a little bit of an elbow there, but nothing too crazy for the bucket.
Golden Falcons back in front by 18 points. This is Mallory on the block once again, working against McCarthy. Finds Mick in the corner. Mick out to Velasquez, 10 to shoot. Velasquez around the back dribble, step back, and that's short. Tipped out by Vargas, who earns CSI another possession, and Waterman can't make anything of it as he's too strong on the three.
Couple of good attempts, Joe. Dolphins just could not capitalize.
And McCarthy off of the handoff takes it all the way to the rim and finishes through contact and one. And just like that, Felician University back in front by 20.
Yeah, the largest leads have been 22 there. Vargas that time nearly got the block, and then when he realized he couldn't get the block, just fouled him. But if you're going to do that, Joe, foul to make sure he does not make the shot. And McCarthy is at the line. He is a little over 70% in the season, less than 20 attempts.
And he makes good on that free throw. Felician ahead by 21 as the Dolphins pulled to within 16, and very quickly Golden Falcons extend the lead back beyond 20 as for the Dolphins, Pat Gardner in the game. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, first time appearance for Pat Gardner here. We'll see what he can do.
As Ashley tries the shot from the outside, but that is a two-pointer.
Gasfo was well on the line there, but a good attempt.
Mallory for two.
Well, that was Michael Ashley, yes, I promise you.
That was Ashley.
As Waterman finds an unintended target on that bounce pass, Gardner too strong on the three. Ashley on the post-up, draws contact, and will head to the line.
Nice, tough physical play by Michael Ashley there. As Gardner took his first shot attempt of the season way off the temp there. He's got a little jitters as he's got his first game of the season.
Michael Ashley's first free throw is good. Dolphins back to within 18, but with only 13 minutes on the clock, the Dolphins going to need a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, they're going to need to get to the line a whole lot this half. Drain some three-pointers. You need to get Austin Mick going as well. He's a primary part of your offense. We need to see more plays develop just for Mick to come off of a screen for three-point attempts.
The Dolphins simply have to be better defensively. They've held the Golden Falcons to 4 of 19 three-point shooting, but despite that, Felician shooting 51% from the floor.
It's all the inside layups that they've been making, and the Dolphins have been missing a few of those.
There's a three-pointer attempted by McCarthy. It is no good. Gardner comes away with the rebound. He looks to push. Mallory in the corner. Waterman, Gardner, wide open three, top of the arc, way off. And here come the Golden Falcons back the other way.
2 threes, 2 missed shots for Gardner to start thus far.
And Amos left wide open, makes the Dolphins pay.
Yeah, simple pump fake for the pass there by Amos. Freed him up, got the Baby J.
There's a nice move by Messiah Mallory in the post.
Nice feed by Mick as well, seeing that he had position.
Mallory spins right to the rim and banks it in. Made it look easy. That pulls the Dolphins back to within 17.
Gotta get a, ooh, good. I thought that could have been a charging foul, Joe. He put that arm out there, but it's called a blocking.
Gardner went down to the floor, is whistled for the foul, and we have a media timeout inside of 12 minutes to play in the second half. Dolphins trailing by 17.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
And we're back here on the ECC Network. Dolphins trailing by 17 points inside of 12 minutes to play in the second half. But Sal, we were talking about it just ahead of the break. It has been a poor outside shooting performance for Felician, but just about everything else has gone right. On shots that are not three-point attempts, the Golden Falcons shooting 19 of 25.
Yeah, that is a great percentage from the field. They got 30 points in the paint compared to the Dolphins' 16 thus far. And the Dolphins have been shooting threes as well. But what happened was Felician realized that they're scoring in the paint really easily, and we don't need to be taking these three-point attempts. And that's how they built that lead at the end of that first half.
Felician also with the advantage on the glass, 26 rebounds to CSI's 19. And in the turnover department, the Dolphins have 12 and the Golden Falcons with just 8. So Felician has done a very good job taking care of the basketball. Not a bad job by CSI either. 12, not a bad number, but right now the Dolphins on the short end of this one, and time running out as that's knocked away by Gardner, and it will remain Golden Falcons ball with 12 to shoot.
Gardner there, lucky for not getting a foul called there. It looked like he swiped his arms instead of really getting any of the ball. No wholesale substitution? No, just 1 or 2 for Felician.
On the floor for Felician, Cologne, McCray, McCarthy, Davis, and Ramos. For CSI, Mick, Mallory, Ashley, Waterman, and Gardner. Less than 10 to shoot for Felician. This is Davis. McCray now working on the block against Ashley. He tries to spin, powers his way to the rim, and draws a foul.
We like that tough defense by Ashley there. There's not much you could do in his size and his weight right now. Really back down Ashley. He got fouled there, so we'll see what he could do at the line.
McCray to the line for a pair. His team already in front by 17 points, and the first free throw is good. And for McCray, that was his first attempt from the line tonight.
Yeah, and he's only shooting 63% from the line. He's been there 35 times, so you could tell he battles down there. Probably a lot of them coming off of those back downs.
Golden Falcons by 19 again as they will try and deliver the death blow to CSI with a full court press, but the Dolphins navigate it well. Gardner left wide open, can't finish the pull-up.
Gardner's not shy in putting up shots for CSI.
And Davis is rejected. I think he tried to pass out of that shot as Mallory takes it to the hoop and lays it in.
Yeah, I mean, I would have definitely given that a block.
Statisticians agree, Sal, as Davis changed his mind very late.
He did.
Very
late. It was too late, in my opinion, because he knew he was getting rejected.
Oh, he sure was, as Mallory does officially earn the block, the rebound, and the 2 points at the other end. Dolphins back within 17. And there's a strip by Ashley. Good active hands, and Michael Ashley comes away with the steal.
All right, Dolphins 17-point lead down right now, under 11 remaining. See what they could do.
As Mallory was looking for Mick, it was tipped. Dolphins kept it in. This is now Waterman posting up. Good look on the step back, and Waterman knocks it down.
They're so pure, does his jump shot look at times, even with a defender on him.
He has such a tough shot to defend, has a very quick release.
Yep, I was just thinking that, Joe. He's got a very quick release, and that's important.
Doesn't get his hands that high. when he's shooting, but the trigger so quick as McCray just too much on the inside, able to bank it in.
Yeah, McCray, just a big, big boy, shooting well over 50% from the field because of shots just like that one.
McCray in the game now 4 of 6 from the floor, 10 points. He and Jackson are the only 2 players in double figures for Felician as the Dolphins are called for an illegal screen.
Yeah, I mean, Felician, if you go back to here, a lot of their players, you can see, they're all spread out. Not many shot attempts except for Namos, who's shaking 10. He's 4 for 10. Everybody else has at least 3 shot attempts that's played.
They've spread the ball around well. The Dolphins have done the same, but no Dolphin in double figures. And for CSI, 4 players who have entered the game have not scored.
Only the starters on the board right now, aside from Michael Ashley.
For the Dolphins, Velasquez has 8, Mick has 9, Waterman has 8, Mallory has 8, Ashley with 9, and then Max Dillon Butler has 2, as that is McCray drawing another foul underneath, and he has really taken over this game these last few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the coach said to them at halftime. They said, just get down low, draw some contact, just get to the line this half, and he's doing just that. And Messiah Mallory couldn't do much against McCray.
McCray scored the last 5 with that made free throw.
We haven't seen Velasquez. I know he went to the bench earlier since his hot start.
Interesting to see him come out of the game and to see Gardner come in when Velasquez was shooting the ball well.
But yeah, when he was playing well.
Out of the break, and that's just something the Dolphins can't afford at this point.
No, you can't allow that to happen when you're trying to come back in a game.
Dolphins now back down by 22 as Waterman was open in the corner, and he gets the 3 to go on the second try. And they missed him on the fast break, Sal, but the offensive board affords CSI a chance to rectify that mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he was wide open there, and luckily they got the offensive rebound off the bad missed shot. As Amos drawing the foul against Gardner, but he does not agree.
Gardner charged with his second personal. And
I like Gardner's aggressiveness as well and his passion for this game. You can tell that he really loves to play this game and he just wants to play well for his team.
Definitely came onto the court with a spring in his step. You know he has to be excited to take the floor on his home court. But a couple of shots that were way off, attempted at the offensive end. Now has 2 fouls at this end. Golden Falcons back in front by 21 after Amos knocks down a pair from the line. That pass nearly stolen as Gardner has it, 20 to shoot.
It looks like Velasquez in the corner there might have came out of the game because of some blood. Looks like he was getting stitched up there.
That's Waterman with the mid-range shot once again. It is no good. Amos working against Waterman, takes it inside, sends it out to McCray. Now Davis. 20 on the shot clock. Davis drives and draws another foul.
Another foul for Davis here. And that time it looked like a pretty good clean block, but there were about 2 or 3 Dolphin defenders that got a lot of body.
We spoke about how the officials were letting them play in the first half. Only 11 foul calls in the entire first half. Here in the second half, that last whistle makes 10 fouls, 7 that have gone against the Dolphins.
I mean, just a very aggressive inside the paint play by Felician, and they're just doing that a lot more, if you notice, in the second half than they did in the beginning of the first half.
Felician with 32 points in the paint in this game, 12 coming in the second half, but that number doesn't exactly do it justice as they've attacked the rim and drawn a lot of fouls, which have negated points that would have been scored inside without the contact.
Yeah, not many three-point attempts to start for Felician here in the second half.
As Mick off the feed, able to finish off glass, and Dolphins cut the lead back down to 20.
Mick's got to do that more, find those openings off the ball.
That last basket by Mick makes him the second Dolphin to reach double-figure scoring, along with Bryce Waterman. As Davis will try a 3 with 10 on the shot clock, and it's rebounded by Mallory.
It's Mick's first double-digit game in the last few games.
Here comes Shkolny, and he throws it away. Cologne easily read that pass, but he can't finish the layup. Davis with the rebound, and a foul called underneath.
I mean, you force a missed shot attempt, Joe, and then you don't get the rebound. Every Dolphin should be down there trying to grab that board, even if it's a fast break. It's unacceptable, Joe.
Well, I'm sure the coaching staff not happy to see their team down by 20 as we have a media timeout with 7:56 remaining on the clock in the second half.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag like facing backwards and look like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
And we're back from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins trailing by 20 points with under 8 minutes to play in the second half. And Sal, early on in the first half, this is a very back-and-forth competitive game. The Dolphins got off to a strong start tonight, but things really got out of hand in the closing minutes of the first half.
Yeah, so far in this second half, it's been a pretty even game, coming out. I mean, they were down by...
It was 18 at the break.
18 points at the break and only down by 20 here, so they're down by 2 points in the second half. And that's all you could ask for with a team that you're down by that much in the first half. Come back strong, chip away, make this second half, win this second half.
I'm sure the CSI team has not given up on this game yet, as Luis Armas into the game for the first time. And that's something else I've noticed about this Dolphins team over the last couple. Doesn't appear they've decided upon a rotation now that all of their players are healthy, but right there, an alley-oop from Waterman to Mallory, and that energizes the building a little bit.
That was a pretty play there by Bryce and Mallory to get it up there for the slam.
We'll see if that energy in the building is enough to will the Dolphins back into this. As Mallory, with the rejection, tips it to Waterman. Now Mick, left wing three, up and no good. As Mallory fights for the board and couldn't pull it in.
Good attempt by Mick there. Those are the shots you want in the fast break. That could have cut it to 17 with about 7:21 left in this game. Remember, Joe, in the first half, it was about with 7 minutes remaining where they could not score. Let's see what the Dolphins can do here.
That basket may have been the boost the Dolphins needed as Armas pokes it away from Jackson.
I really like our Lois Armas. I think he's a good defender. Takes smart shots, smart basketball player on the court there. I really think he helps the bench.
We've seen good active hands from the Dolphins in the second half. Done a nice job on the ball, but those active hands have resulted in many foul calls, and that's hurt them in half number 2.
Felician's been to the line quite a few times in the second half, especially by this guy here, McRae.
Good pass from McRae to find a wide-open Jackson in the corner, and getting a hand on it was Davis, a fresh 20-second shot clock for the Golden Falcons.
And rebounding has been a tough sell for CSI this entire season thus far. They've been rebounded, I believe, in every game this year. They just don't have the size ultimately.
And we have another whistle against the Dolphins, so it would be a 1-and-1 opportunity at the line for Amos. But to your point about the rebounding, Sal, the rebounding margin for CSI on the season, almost minus 10 per game. So CSI has had their issues on the glass.
Yeah, I mean, size is a part of it, but at the end of the day, you got to box out. Look for the ball, grab it, and that's something that Messiah Mallory does very well. Unfortunately, not many other Dolphins do.
First free throw by Amos is good, and the rebounding has been within reason tonight in terms of margin, as Dolphins only getting out-rebounded by 5. However, that makes it 6, and the lay-in by Davis is good. So
that gives them the 23-point lead now. This is their largest lead of the game.
A 1 of 2 trip from the line turns into a 3-point trip down the floor for Felician as Mick is rejected. 15 to shoot for the Dolphins. Mick went up with that shot quickly. This is Mallory against McCray, and his shot is short.
Yeah, he was hitting those early in the first half, and now he just has not been able to find the range.
Mallory got off to a good start. He is now 5 of 12 as the three-pointer by Davis is too long. This is Mallory inside to Armas, and Armas couldn't finish in traffic.
That was a foul there, Joe. No call was made, however.
Tough to get those calls down. 23 inside of 6 minutes to play, but a foul is a foul.
Yeah, I mean, especially that one. It was plenty of contact, but he didn't even complain, so at this point, why?
Felician using the shot clock here. They have less than 10 to shoot. This is Cologne. Step back three on the wing is good over the outstretched arm of Armas.
That is a tough shot, Joe, to step back and drain it. I mean, there's not much you could do on the defensive end if someone hits that shot.
Felician by 26 as this game got away from the Dolphins late in the first half. You said it. They were playing even here in the second half, ahead of a couple of free throws just 2 minutes ago, but Felician has really broken it open as Waterman got a good open look from the corner and couldn't connect.
Yeah, that one literally in and out, just rattled inside, could not get it all the way through. And a few of those in the first half especially, but in the second half, the Dolphins just cannot find the rim. Down by 26, as you mentioned, Joe, the largest of the game with 4.5 coming up in this.
Following tonight's game, as Cologne nearly able to hit that three over Mick. He went down to the floor. Davis rips it away from Mick and throws it down with two hands.
That was, in one word, Joe, nasty.
That sequence right there just about sums up tonight's game, Sal.
I was talking about a dunk, but yeah, we'll go with that as well.
That's the kind of game it's been. All of the points coming in the paint for Felician. They've made the hustle plays, and right there they muscle the ball away from Mick and come away with a dunk. And that was no fault of Austin's. He hustled for the ball, but
just a lot of strength on Davis. You know, he grabbed it, put it away, and just sprung up in the air.
Felician just one step ahead.
Yep.
And they come away with 2 points as a result.
Sometimes that's all it takes is a few made baskets. You see it go through, you feel your momentum, and you continue to strive with it. And that's what Felician has done in the last 3-4 minutes of the second half.
Dolphins trailing by 28 with 4 minutes to go. So for CSI, assuming this result holds, it will be a 2-7 start to the season with a conference matchup looming on Sunday. They take on DeUville right here at the Tank. And that will be their last game ahead of the new year as, once again, Felician running the break and Cologne able to finish as the Dolphins look to come right back the other way. And Luis Armas off the nice feed from Michael Ashley finishes the layup.
Yeah, there you go. Nice little play off the transition, fast break, and that's what you want. That's still down by 28, obviously 3 minutes remaining, probably have immediate timeout soon. Felician right around their season average at 81 points.
Really, it's been remarkable what the Golden Falcons have been able to do, despite how poorly they've shot it from the outside.
Yeah, like we said, Joe, in the beginning, they started taking those threes. Once they realized they weren't dropping, they went inside, and that has hurt them.
They've shot 28 threes, only hit 6 of them on non-three-pointers. They're now 23 of 31. So Felician has done an incredible job from inside of the arc, and the Dolphins overall shooting just 38% tonight. That won't be good enough as we have our final media timeout with 3:15 on the clock. CSI trailing Felician University by 28 points.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
And we're back here on the ECC Network, and as I was talking about ahead of the break, Dolphins shooting in this game only 38%. That is right around their season's average, Sal, but you and I talked about it off camera, or I should say off the stream, during the break. Let's take a look back and see what the Dolphins have done in their wins this season. And in their first victory over Pace University, the Dolphins shot over 46%. In their second victory against Queens, they shot up above 45%. So sub 40% shooting on most nights won't be good enough for this Dolphins team.
No, not when when your defense isn't as where you want it to be, as tight as you want it to be in most games.
Dolphins making wholesale substitutions following that last timeout. As Patrick Daddio enters the game, Brian Gomez is into the game, Justin Ziris back into the game. Pat Gardner remains in the game along with Luis Armas.
That was Nagubu who scored the bucket for Felician inside off another offensive rebound.
Just over 2.5 to play in the game. Dolphins now trail by 30. Largest lead of the game for Felician as Ziris will try the floater. No good off the window. Here comes McCarthy. Euro step right around Daddio, and he finishes the layup.
More like a Euro double step. I mean, that looked like a travel to me, Joe, but they'll let that one slide at this late of the game.
That move, one we see quite often from Giannis Antetokounmpo, and has those long strides that he uses to his advantage.
Well, even he travels too.
Even the best in the world can be guilty of a traveling violation. So not only the Dolphins made substitutions following that last timeout. Jamling Lama entered the game. He wears number 30, just made that pass to the right wing. Also into the game is Daker Padrino, and Padrino is wearing number 12 as Lama knocks down the 3 from the left wing, and that draws a nice reaction from his teammates on the bench.
Lama, and that's because that's his first 3 of the season, Joe. He's now 1 for 3.
Are those his first points, Sal?
No, they are not. He's got 2 points on the season.
All right, make it 5 with that last 3-pointer. This is McCarthy inside to Nagbo, and he powers his way through Ziris and Armas straight to the rim for the layup.
This kid Nagbo uses his size very well inside.
Number 15, Oscar Okeke into the game as well for the Golden Falcons as Brian Gomez chases down the offensive board and knocks down the mid-range pull-up.
Nice job by Gomez, not giving up on the play, coming around the curl, getting that offensive rebound, seeing the opening for the jump shot at the top of the key.
Inside of 1 minute to play as Okeke is called for an illegal screen.
Dolphins needed this momentum a lot earlier in the second half. With only 49 seconds remaining, there's not much they could do here, but
Gardner left wide open for 3, and nothing but net on that attempt for Gardner. So Pat gets on the board in the closing seconds.
His first points of the season is a 3-point field goal attempt.
This is McCarthy, defended closely by Gardner. Gardner goes down, and offensive foul is the call.
Easy call for the referee there, as he clearly didn't outstand his arm, but he lowered that shoulder, and CSI went down.
So the Dolphins have it. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Likely one last attempt for CSI as Daddio powers his way to the rim and draws the foul.
It's a good strong move here by Daddio, as he looks to get a few points on the board.
Felician foul number 1 and Sean McCarthy, his third, team's 8th.
Taking a look, Daddio does have a made field goal on the season, so that free throw is his third. He's now 3 of 3 from the line.
He's only appeared in 4 games thus far, averaging 12 minutes per game.
Daddio makes it a 2 of 2 trip from the line. He's now a perfect 4-4 on the season. And with the shot clock off, that will allow Felician University to dribble out the final seconds in their 5th victory of the season. So Golden Falcons improved to 5-3. They've now won back-to-back games. The Dolphins have dropped 2 straight. They fall to 2-7.
Yeah, Joe, I mean, a tough loss for CSI. You like that they came out strong. I think their biggest lead of the game was at 15-13 at one point, and it was about maybe 10 minutes in the first half. But after that, it came to be 7 minutes to go. It was 29-26, you mentioned, in the first half. they could not score in the last 7 minutes of that first half, and they came down 18 points by then.
Well, I think the most disappointing aspect of this game for the Dolphins is that early in the season, CSI was dropping games by very lopsided scores. They really began to change that when they took on Damon College back on November 23rd, dropped that game by 19, their next game by 15. Then the following games, they won by 3, won once again by 3, only fell to Malloy by 13, but a 30-point defeat, certainly not a step in the right direction for this Dolphins squad and not something that you want to see if you're head coach Nick Durant.
The only saving grace here tonight is that it was a non-conference matchup, Joe. And they have a whole lot of conference games coming up, especially in January. As you mentioned, the doubleheader in Deweyville coming up on Sunday, which I will not be here for, unfortunately. But I will be trying to watch the games on there and listening to Joe and on the broadcast. And hopefully the Dolphins can show Deweyville that they're not just at number 10 preseason poll that they were listed at early in the year. Deweyville was at 9 or 8. I think the Dolphins can be a little step ahead. We'll see what they can do against them.
Well, Sal, you enjoy your Sunday from home. I will enjoy mine from right here at the commentary desk, as that will be our next broadcast, a men's and women's basketball doubleheader on Sunday as the College of Staten Island takes on Deweyville. The women tip off first at 1 p.m. The men will follow at approximately 3 p.m. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman, and for my broadcast partner, Sal Caruso, and all of us here at the College of Staten Island, thank you for watching. Once again, our final score, Felician University 90 and the College of Staten Island 60. Our next broadcast Sunday at 1 p.m. when the Dolphins take on Deweyville. If you can't attend the game, be sure to join us right here on the ECC Network. And until then, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night.
Have a good night, everybody, and don't forget to fear that fin.
And don't forget to tune in Friday, which is actually our next broadcast. So that's my mistake, Sal. The next men's basketball broadcast is on Sunday, so a bit of an addendum to that. Close. Women's basketball against Damon College on Friday is our next broadcast.
And I will be here for that.
You will be here. Next men's basketball broadcast on Sunday. Have a good night, everybody.